Good morning, thank you for coming. Please help yourself to breakfast and honestly sponsored. You know, nothing is a coincidence. We read the story of Yaakov and struggling with the angel and going back for crossing the river before Chanukah time. What's the connection between Yaakov crossing the river and Chanukah? So the Maskil of David says that when the Torah says, actually the Gemara in Chulin says that what did Yaakov go? Remember, he crossed the river and Yaakov Levado, and Yaakov stood alone. That's what the Torah says. However, the Maskil of David says that what happened was Yaakov went to retrieve little jugs of oil because he wanted to, every time he had to anoint an altar, he wanted to use the jugs of oil. And I guess you can say that Yaakov was confident he'd win the battle with Esav, and therefore he wanted to consecrate an altar. He went back to get these jugs of oil. You can say, Yaakov Levado, Yaakov stood for himself. Levado could also be Labad. The Gemara calls a pressing of olives, Beis Habad, not Chabad, Beis Habad. That's the pressing of olives. So maybe Yaakov Levado, Yaakov went for the oil that was represented by the Beis Habad. And in fact, the most story we sing, Minosha Kankanim Nasuletza Shoshanim, if the remnants of the containers, a miracle happened. And they also had faith that they were going to consecrate and going to win the battle, so God's benefits, and they enjoy God's benefits from having this oil. However, I want to say something that I saw based on the Zohar. Maybe this ties everything better. What were the jugs of oil that Yaakov went to retrieve? What happened was when Noah came out of the teva and the dove brought an olive, he made olive oil. And this was, yes, he made olive oil from the olive. This is the Zohar. This is more mystical. So what happened was that he made oil from it, and it had the stamp of the high priest. Who was the high priest? Was Shem. We read that the high priest came and delivered. So this was the Pach. Yaakov went to retrieve this Pach Hashem because it's an important Shem. And what did the Pach Shem that the Maccabees found? This Pach Shem. But remember, we say that the Chanukah story that they retrieved the Pach Shem with the seal of the Kohen Gadol. Which seal of Kohen Gadol was? Shem. So it ties in to Chanukah very, very nicely. I happen to like it. I know it's mystical, but I happen to like it. And the fact is, though, is that it talks to high priest, which doesn't say which high priest, but it makes sense. And it goes back all the way to the time of Noah, that Noah had this holy oil that he was able to retrieve from the dove, and may that oil be used to bring and anoint Mashiach speedily in our days. Have a wonderful day.